Welcome, everyone, to The Blocks Have Spoken. We are here to discuss the tragic fate of Christian from season 50, episode 9. It's a sad day, Brett.
You know, I I really thought Mr. Beast was going to be my least favorite celebrity cameo this season, and he still could be. But Jimmy Fallon, I I am not a big fan of him. I'm not gonna lie to you. After today, uh,
Here's the thing, though, okay? Are you upset with the twist or are you upset with the results?
well, I think both. I do like. I mean, if we, I'm sure we'll get into it, but like, I think the twist was just so much more negative than positive. Like, I mean, because like the reward you get is just like an extra vote, but then the punishment is just death. Like you just lose. I mean, obviously, like if there wasn't any heat on you, maybe it's like, you could survive. But if there's already heat on you and you have this twist happen to you, you're just done.
I understand that line of thinking, but at the same time, I think the twist is fair. I mean, ultimately, it was asked, "Hey, who wants to go for this journey?" And the people that wanted to go did rock paper scissors. Christian won rock paper scissors. I mean, Christian, for all intents and purposes, knew the risks and went anyway. So, like, the only thing about the twist that I actually kind of dislike is I feel like having Christian read a letter in front of
Yeah.
everyone is the annoying thing.
That is my least favorite part about it. If him having to vote for himself, I'm not even really mad at that. I think
Right.
like you said, I think that's like a fair I mean not fair. It's still kind of like goofy, but like I'm not like in the recent age of Survivor, like they'd be doing stuff like this isn't like a big like, oh, I can't believe they did this. I am just really upset. I think him having to read it to everybody was just like, oh, that I don't know. I was not a big fan of that part of it at all.
Mhm. No, I hear you. And the other thing is maybe because what I thought it was gonna be was, if he wins, he has this one in the urn, I think it was called,
Mhm.
where he basically just casts an extra vote, but he casts the extra vote now instead of at tribal. I thought that the punishment was just gonna be that the one in the urn is used against him,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that he has one vote cast for him, but he still has his vote, which
Mhm.
is less bad, still bad, less bad. I do understand the purpose of the letter though, because if because think about it like this: if Christian comes back, right, there's no way he would ever tell anyone that there's already going to be a vote against him, right?
Yeah.
So that punishment really can only come into effect by happenstance and coincidence, as opposed to like strategy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, like, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, actually, I understand why the letter had to be done the way it was done. I don't know. I think it's an interesting twist. I don't necessarily love it. I don't necessarily hate it. I hate that it fucked Christian over. I will say that if Christian couldn't do the puzzle in time, I would like to see who on the dream team was able to do the puzzle in time.
Yeah.
Because, like, Christian is really good at puzzles, and I don't know. I am happy, though, that they brought back the uh, idea of the thing being dragged away. Because that was
Mhm.
what, 47, was it?
Yeah, he mentioned he was like, "Oh, Rachel like played in this challenge
Hmm.
back in 47." So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it was nice to see it come back, and this time, the person failed, whereas Rachel succeeded. So, all in all, I don't think I hate it. I understand if people aren't happy with it, but I still am more upset about the Zach Brown stuff than Jimmy Fallon. I'm gonna be
Oh yeah.
honest.
I mean, episode wise, like the Zach Brown stuff was just like not
Think,
like
think of it like
good
this.
content to watch.
Think of it like this. How many confessionals from Jimmy Fallon did we get?
This is true. This is true. Well, I will talk later. How many do you think Mr. Beast is getting next episode? Because
Based,
I saw a picture of him at
based,
Tribal Council today, so I'm a little scared.
like with the players,
Yeah,
or
I mean, it was just a picture of him at Tribal. I thought I was under the impression he was just going to be at the auction, so I wasn't like too scared. But now I don't know what to think.
my guess is that if he was at Tribal, my guess is that it's one of two things. Either, and I know we're trying to talk about episode 9, here we are speculating on episode
Yeah.
10 already. But like my guess would be that it's either something that was bought at the auction, the results of it would be determined at Tribal,
Yeah.
or he was just at Tribal just to watch and like just be there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and the photo was like a behind the scenes photo, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I mean, I didn't see the photo. I don't, maybe he's like, if it's a photo of him like standing there, like talking to people, then like, I don't know. But
Mhm.
I actually am shockingly optimistic about next week.
Okay.
I saw a video recently. I say recently, it was a couple weeks ago, about uh Mr. Beast talking about his experience on the Survivor thing. And at one point, the person he was talking with, had mentioned the Zach Brown thing. And he was very quick to be like, no, no, no. I'm presenting like a twist to them. It's not about me.
Mhm.
And I could also see that, because he's look, say what you will about the guy, he's smart when it comes to like social media and influence and stuff like that. He 100% would have seen what happened with Zach Brown and been like, "Oh, let's tone it down a little bit if you
Mhm.
were gonna like really show me off and stuff." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful, but we'll see. Anyways, let's focus on this episode. All right. Episode starts and Devins is happy about his fake idol play. And then he explains that it's meant to be snuck out of Tribal and therefore is not active until after the idol's brought to camp. Which makes sense actually for Survivor, right?
Mhm. I know. I thought that was a very great like cover story. Like, I mean, obviously he's had time to think of one for it, and I think that was a very good one. Like,
Mhm.
very believe. I mean, I could see that being something Survivor would do.
So I give that a good thumbs up, all right? So far, Devin's doing good, right?
Yeah.
And then he tells Emily it's fake.
Yeah. Ooh, that was yeah. I'm surprised that didn't immediately bounce somewhere else this episode.
Emily, yeah, I don't know. I will say at the end of this, I want to kind of go over who like the top winner contentions are again, because
Mhm.
I feel like we're getting to the point where it's looking like certain people are going to win and certain people are not. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was surprised that he told Emily, but I think it solidifies going forward that him and Emily are a duo, especially given the vote that happens.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stephanie's nervous because her only allies now are Joe and Jonathan. But she says she's ready to act nice to everyone and to slit throats. We'll see about that, Stephanie. You got this. Ozzy and Rizzo then discuss how Devin's doing what he did takes heat off of their idols, which I don't know if I believe that, but okay.
Yeah, Joe had
But
his little funny scene there too, where they're like acting out like him running up to like grab the idol. I haven't really been a big Joe fan this season, but I thought that scene was really funny of him. Just, I don't know, it's weird. I'm just used to him being like, honor, integrity, and I don't know, him like goofing around was very funny to see.
You know, I know for the first half of this game, we talked a lot about how invisible Tiffany was, right?
Hmm.
I feel like Joe has been pretty invisible too, now that you look at it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there were the first two episodes he was there, and then like episode 8 he was there, but like other than that, he's been pretty invisible too.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was on a. I'm looking at the confessional chart, like the first,
Mhm.
like you said, first two episodes, and then it's like since then
One,
he's had
one, one.
one episode over two confessionals since the first
Mhm.
two.
Yeah, I mean Tiffany's almost caught up, and Tiffany entered the merge with 2. So yeah. Um so yeah. You know, we have Joe, Ozzy, and Sari discussing Devon's, like you kind of said. Devon's now seems like he's a big target. And Sari talks about how she has a working relationship with everyone. I, I think it's worth mentioning this at this point, right? How do you let this happen?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, we'll get into it in a little with like Christian like telling her like, oh, we should go after Ozzy. Like, how does everybody just like think she's their number one? Like, this
Yeah,
happens every season. Like, I don't know how she does it, man.
I don't either. Sari, every little bit that she lacks in challenge ability, she more than makes up for in strategic awareness and social adaptability. Like the way she's able to just easily maneuver around people in a way that like even when she blindsides someone, they don't feel bad about it. It's just incredible, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. Sari, for all intents and purposes, I think has played a flawless game so far.
No, for sure. Like the only like time she was even like under threat to go home was that first episode, and I mean, shoot, maybe maybe Jenna was onto something. I think she went around it like the wrong way and
Oh
going in
my
so hard,
god.
but like, if I'm
You
Jenna, I'm feeling real good. Like, I tried to tell you.
you have to imagine that if Sari ends up winning this season, that at this live reunion, Jenna's gonna fucking lose and be like, I fucking told all of you!
She
They're all
tried.
just
She
gonna have to be
tried.
like, shit, we should have listened to Jenna.
Yeah, like.
Holy crap! Anyways, Jonathan and Joe have decided. I like the way that this comes across. They're like, we have decided that we want to work with Ozzy. You didn't decide you wanted to work with Ozzy. You have no other choice. Who else are you gonna work with? Seriously. You
Yeah.
have you two and Stephanie, and who's your next ally at this point? Like, come on now.
What one thing I find funny about like this group of three, like the quote unquote old school alliance, like the honor integrity, like
Yeah,
it's like
Jonathan, Joe, Stephanie.
yeah, it's primarily new schoolers now. Like Stephanie's the only old school person left in the
The
alliance.
old school alliance is 2/3 new school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was trying not to call them an old school alliance because I
Hmm.
never viewed them as an old school alliance. I
Yeah.
viewed them like, as you said, an honor and integrity group, which even then they have very different definitions of honor and integrity. I will say this right up front: out of everyone in the honor and integrity group, Joe I think is the one with the most integrity.
Yeah.
Jonathan is probably second. Like, Coach has none. I'm sorry. Chrissy's pretty. Well, the thing is, Chrissy played that way this season, but her first season she didn't.
No.
Like, that's why I was surprised that she kind of got lumped into there. But I think it was also like I don't want to say old school mentality, but like an older person mentality, maybe. I know Jonathan's on the younger side, but I don't know. It's just something I think I noticed. Aubrey is worried that people are going to associate her with Devon's, which is interesting because certainly wasn't our perception of things.
No. Like, it's funny, like, the last episode when they grouped up, I mean, it's been a while since I saw Edge of Extinction, but, it was like I had, like, almost forgotten that they were, like, like, on the same season together for a little bit, like,
Mhm.
this season's been so long, and it's like, these 2 people haven't really been together too much, I was like, "Oh, I kinda forgot they were, like they've got, like, some history," so, even as a viewer, I wasn't really seeing them as, like, a pair at all.
I want to mention this because this is like wild crackpot theory shit, okay?
Okay.
Winners at war, right? Tony comes into the game knowing he could be a massive threat, right? And the biggest reason that people would be afraid of him is because he goes crazy looking for idols and stuff. So what he does is he purposefully sits in camp and does nothing for 2/3 of the game, gets people to slowly lower their guard, and then hits them hard. And he wins,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I want to talk about Aubrey for a second.
Okay.
Aubrey's arguably also a potential massive threat going into this game. And the biggest reason isn't because she finds idols, it's because she's smart, she's strategic, she makes plans. So what does she do? She takes a book out of Tony's book. She says, "You know what? I'm not going to make any plans. I'm just going to lay low, kind of just be friendly with people." Now, did it work on her original tribe? Possibly not, because it sounds like she might have been a target. But, that was what she was trying to do. And now we get to final 10 or 11, I forgot. I think this is final 11, right?
I think so.
And now she's like, okay, they aren't looking at me as a threat anymore. No one is talking about, oh, we need to vote out Aubrey anymore. Now let's start to make moves. And she starts talking with Jonathan. I think Aubrey has win equity.
Yeah,
And it's
honestly, at this
fucking
point
crazy.
yeah, I mean, at this point, I know we'll talk about winter stuff later, but, like, Rick and Emily, like, I don't see them they're just kinda on the bottom right now after today. Like, I don't know, I really hope one of the honor integrity people doesn't end up winning, so that just kinda
I
leaves
don't see that happening.
yeah, it just kinda leaves a Cerie trio, and then, like, just Aubrey, I guess Tiffany's there too, but I don't know, in my head, I feel like if Tiffany was the winner, like, I tried to go to, like, crackpot theory, like, with the confessionals, but, like, I feel like if she was the winner,
I
she
don't want to
wouldn't
go
have
into
got
Edgic, but
yeah, like, I'm not really into that at all, but, like, I feel like she wouldn't have had 2 confessionals going into the maybe they super under the radar winner,
they
but
did a similar thing before with other winners, though.
yeah.
Wasn't I think wasn't Michelle? No, not Michelle. Erica wasn't Erica super under
Yeah.
shown like pre-merge
Mhm.
because she also never went to tribal.
Oh, yeah, no, because I remember watching that season, and I was, like, super confused by the outcome, because they like,
Mhm.
she was very under-edited, like, the whole season.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I didn't realize it watching it live, but I rewatched it a couple months ago. I rewatched 41, and because when I rewatch seasons, I like to rank them and I like to rank the winner.
Mhm.
And I struggled with how to rank Erica. I was like, do I? Because the rule that I had made for myself back when I started ranking was I rank them based on what I see in the edit. And it's one of those things where it's like, based on the edit, Erica is a low tier winner.
Mhm.
But then you start to hear about what actually was going on, and people are like, "Oh, Erica was one of the better new school winners." So it's like, I don't fucking know what to do there, you know?
Yeah.
I can tell you, hang on, I'll pull up where I currently have her ranked.
Ooh,
But
okay.
like, either way, the point I'm getting at is just like it's rough, you know? Let me see here. Erica is. Why do I not see her on here? I'm blind. Um, so keeping in mind that I've only ranked the first 42 winners, I have Erica at 26,
Okay.
which for reference is right below Danny in Guatemala, but above Sophie in South Pacific.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. But my point being that could they be doing something weird with an edit? They could.
Yeah.
I think Aubrey is more likely than Tiffany, but like I said, we'll get more into it certainly at the end.
Mhm.
What else now? So Aubrey doesn't want to be lumped with. So Aubrey's talking to Jonathan, which for her, fantastic move. I think that's a
Oh yeah.
fantastic move
Yeah,
because
I mean, 100%.
I think if Aubrey aligns herself with Jonathan and the two of them are in the final three together, I think Aubrey wins over Jonathan.
Yeah.
Depending on what she does over the next few episodes to get there.
Mhm. Like, I think the best move this episode is to try to scoop up the honor integrity people who just took like a massive hit because like I don't know, like I feel like they're great people to try to sit at the end with. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like I don't know, because like the head of the dragon, like Coach and Chrissy. I think they were kind of like the strategic kind of mind behind them, and like I feel like you could scoop up Jonathan, like Joe, and like you could kind of
Mhm.
get him to do whatever, and they're like great people to go to the end with. So I think it's a great move to try to align with them.
All right. So Joe and Devin start to talk things over. Joe tries to make some sort of peace with Devins, but Devins, I honestly got a little confused here.
Yeah.
I think Devins was just trying to instigate a fight.
Yeah, I because wasn't like Joe saying like I was never gonna write your name down. I think he said like something like that. He was like saying that he
Yeah.
was never gonna write his name down, which I
Hmm.
mean he didn't, but like I feel like he was going to before all the shenanigans. So that kind of seemed like a lie.
It's hard to know, you know? I mean, fact of the matter is that Devon's doing what he did certainly caused a live tribal to happen.
Hmm.
And it's hard to know exactly what the cause of that was. So
Yeah.
either way, Joe doesn't go with the fight. Christian and Emily start talking about how to move the target off of Devon's. And Christian decides he wants to also reconnect with Jonathan and Stephanie. Jonathan does not trust Christian. Jonathan tells Christian he doesn't trust him. And Christian offers to give him a shot in the dark. Uh, you know, don't hate the idea.
Hey, but worked before. I mean, shoot.
Well, I mean, it goes back to what I said with the shot in the dark, which is that I don't think it's particularly that helpful of a tool anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sure. And, it certainly doesn't, it's not like you could use it later, so we
Yeah,
don't even know
this is
that yet.
true. This is true.
Anyways, Christian did realize that the vibes were off, though, with Jonathan, and that makes him suspicious. Christian then smartly realizes that Ozzy's actually in the middle here. Massive realization by Christian,
Yeah,
right?
astute realization. So he must
Right.
do something smart with his information, right? Right?
He tells Sari.
Ah, ah, yeah. That's once that happened, like my heart dropped, and I was like, "Oh no, it's so
Here's the thing.
over."
Here's the thing. Is I understand a little bit of the logic here, which is number one, if you want Suri as your ally, you want to include her in the plans. And number two, Suri has the power to go around and get people to do it. And if Suri does that for Christian, then it makes everyone look like Suri's the one who made the move when it was Christian, thus not raising Christian's threat level.
Mhm.
The issue is that I believe, as Suri put it, Christian's her number 3,
Yeah, yeah.
while Ozzy is her number 1.
Which,
Which made me question, does that make Rizzo her number 2?
I guess. Like,
Also would be.
I guess, like, her saying that he was her number 3, like, it gives me, like, a little slack with Christian where I'm like, "Okay." Like, they were actually working together, and she did value his, like, their little partnership, but he just said one of the 2 names that, like, you just could not say, unfortunately, which is one of the 2 people that are above him on the totem pole for Suri.
Yeah, I think the way Christian should have done this is he should have gotten the numbers and then had a conversation with Suri where he was like, "Listen, Suri, the votes are on Ozzy." Now that's risky because all it would take is Suri telling Ozzy and Ozzy plays the idol.
Mhm.
But if you really want Suri to know, then you'd be like, Suri, listen, everyone, we have this. We have all of these people voting for Ozzy, okay? If Ozzy plays his idol, we're going to know that you told him.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good for you. And I think, while that is strong arming Suri into it, and she might not be happy about it, I think that's the best. Or you just blindside her. Like, come on.
Mhm.
I mean, let's go ahead and say it for what it's worth, right? Christian realizes Ozzy's actually in the middle. He doesn't realize Suri is too.
Yeah.
So either way, this Suri and Jonathan then talk, and both of them kind of have the mutual realization where they're like, "Oh, we both kind of want to take out Christian. Fancy that." All right, we get to the immunity challenge. Early immunity challenge. Only half an hour into the episode,
Mhm.
and this is fun. I had fun with this.
No, I did too. This was, the high point of the episode for me for sure, because everything after this is a funeral march to death for Christian. But this was great. I love the little Jeff participating in the challenge.
I hope they bring this back actually. Maybe with
Yeah.
different challenges. Like so just to reiterate, uh it looks like it's gonna start off with a rice negotiation, and it kind of is. What it is Jeff wants 5 of them to make a side bet with him that they will last longer than him. And after discussing it, they were able to negotiate him down to 4 people, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't write this down. Was it Jonathan who proposed 4?
I think so, which is kind of like,
Interesting, right?
yeah.
You wouldn't think Jonathan would be the negotiator.
Mhm.
But good on Jonathan here. So they decide Jonathan, Joe, Ozzy, and Tiffany will be the 4. And somehow they nailed the exact 4 they needed.
Yeah.
Alright. So here we go. Challenge starts. First to drop, Rizzo. Then Emily. And Rizzo has now taken over the hosting job.
Yeah.
Which I wish we got a little longer of Rizzo hosting, but Devon's drops, and we're gonna now let the professional host.
Yeah, yeah. Devin's got a little jealous. Was like, "Oh, let me in there."
Worth saying, Saria's the 4th to drop,
Yeah.
so not bad. And then we get Jeff. And this is fun. Quote, who made this challenge? This is barbaric. Jeff then decides to try to do what Gabler did.
Yep.
And then Christian starts holding Jeff hostage.
I don't know if you heard in the background, he was like trying to negotiate with him. He's like, yeah, give me more than an hour in my like exit interview or like something like you try to get like longer exit press, like because I think they're only limited to an hour in like the deep dives or whatever now. I don't know, that was very funny. I also really like the trash talk montage they showed of Jeff
Oh,
during the
yeah.
challenge. That was great.
That was funny. I'm usually not a fan of those kinds of montages, but that one was funny. So, yeah. Also, Jeff talking shit about Christian in this challenge, and then Christian doing better than Jeff. You know what? A rare Christian W this episode.
Yeah, in an episode like this, this might have been his only one. This might have been
Yeah.
his only one.
Down to 6, Aubrey drops, so we're down to 5, and then Stephanie drops, and we're down to 4. And the 4 we're left are the 4 who were part of the bit. So there we go. Sorry about that. Alright. But yeah. So we're down to the 4. Tiffany drops. Not too surprised there. And then Jonathan drops, and we're down to 2. Now, we have Ozzy, who is potentially one of the greatest individual immunity players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he's against Joe, who set the record in this challenge.
Yeah, and like Joe like was doing it with one arm at one point, and I was like, all right, yeah, just like part of me, I was like, oh, dude, I really need Christian own immunity here. I was like, oh wait, Joe's here. Oh wait, Oz,
Alright.
yeah, there's no chance.
Alright, I'm gonna make a claim, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, okay?
Okay.
When you're doing a season with returning players, you should not have on challenges that some of those returning players won in the past.
Ooh.
Especially for individual immunity. Like, if Joe had competed in this before but gotten 3rd or 2nd, sure. But, like, I feel like knowing that Joe won this before, I feel like I'm curious of the statistics on that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can think of a few scenarios where shit like that happens. I mean, Winners at War, Michelle has the same puzzle she had in her season. Like,
which is
that definitely gives her an advantage.
Yeah.
Like,
Parvati was always goated at that one where I think it was the Blood Moon, like similar to the one they did for the Blood Moon, where you're just like standing on the pole.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, I feel like for the integrity of the game, you shouldn't do that. But I mean, I will say, if multiple people had won that challenge, then maybe.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I don't know. Like you brought up the puzzle factor. That is wild that was a thing. Like the same puzzle. That's some. I don't know. That is kind of crazy. I think this. I don't know. I think this. There's a lot of strong people on this season, so I could see like, okay, let's see if Joe can do it again. But I do kind of agree where it's like, this dude set the record for this challenge. Like, if he's here, he's gonna win it again.
Yeah. So, most people go. Well, actually, before we do that, Joe has to choose someone to go on the journey. As we mentioned, rock paper scissors tournament happens.
Mhm.
But fun way to choose something that important in the game. I'm gonna say it. Joe is an idiot for doing it this way.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry. When you're this deep into the game, grow some balls and fucking make a decision.
that reminds me of like I think Maria did something similar, and everybody got really mad at her in 46, where she was like, "All right, Q and Liz, rock paper scissors," and this is after Liz's meltdown, and then Q. I just remember distinctly, just like he has paper, she has rock, and he just like covers her rock and gets to go on the food challenge again. Like it's just not just pick somebody. Like don't I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't leave it up to randomness or anything like that.
Especially like an advantage and like Joe's not working with Christian. Like, there could be a potential advantage. Don't put it up to chance specifically with that.
I know it's weird, right? Like, because I mean, by choosing someone, the point of having to choose someone is that you're possibly pissing them off, or you're possibly like, I don't have any issue with Joe being like, "Does anyone want to go?" And then he chooses someone from the people who has their hands up. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Don't make it up to random chance. That sucks. The only random chance I want in my Survivor is rock draws. Which, by the way, if someone goes out to a rock draw at this point, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if Sari got out to a rock draw?
I mean, that would be very surreal, though.
It
I don't know.
would, but that
I
would
don't
be
know if that's but
horrible.
she needs to add it to her resume of ways of
She
crazy
hasn't.
ways of
She's
getting
not
out.
gone out to rocks. That would
Uh-oh.
suck, dude.
Don't speak it into existence.
Yeah, I'm sorry I even said anything. Anyways, Sari and Emily have a fight over rice because it's Survivor, I guess, and everyone fights over rice at some point.
Yeah.
Tiffany tells Devins that his name is out there. Jonathan has rice and is feeling better, and decides that we're gonna split votes between Christian and Devin. And like, for all intents and purposes, is Jonathan the one actually leading this vote?
I mean, that's definitely what like, they make it seem.
Like, it seems like Jonathan's more getting people than Saray.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, maybe it's intentional for Serena to not, like, go crazy out there with it and just kinda let somebody like Jonathan, like, do the heavy lifting. I could see that. But it was definitely framed from Jonathan's perspective, this episode, at least, like, edit-wise.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good Jonathan episode, which, as someone who drafted Jonathan, I guess I'm happy.
Hey, me and you, Ozzy and Jonathan, our final person. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Well, I'll say this: I think Ozzy has a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
Um, but Jonathan might have a better chance of making it further.
Yeah, I
So
could do that.
either way, Jonathan's worried about Christian on the journey because maybe Christian comes back with an advantage. We already kind of talked about the one in the urn. I don't know. Is there
Mhm.
anything else we need to talk about there?
No, I mean, I think I got my frustrations out about it, in the opening thing. It was
I
cool
do
to see
like.
the boat thing
Excuse
again. That little challenge was cool, like
me.
you said.
I do like the speech that Christian gave, like in the confessional as he left, where he's like, you know what, I want to set a good example for my son and say, you know what, it's okay to fail. You
Mhm.
have to pick yourself back up and you just have to move on. And it's powerful. It is.
Yeah.
It was heartbroken. Christian then does what he can. He has to read the letter out. He realized, at this point, the shot in the dark's useless to him, so of course he gives it to Jonathan.
Mhm.
I mean, might as well go for broke, right?
Yeah.
But Emily starts deciding she wants to try to take out Ozzy still then. And then this is where I thought things might get interesting. Tiffany realized this and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What if I move the votes on to Emily?" And all of a sudden, Tiffany, Sari, and Ozzy all seem to want to target Emily. Then Rizzo and Aubrey also want to target Emily. And yet, it stays on Christian.
Well, I think Rizzo was the one, because I think he only had like one confessional this episode. I think
Mhm.
his one confessional. I think he was one of the people that was very adamant, like, no, Christian's back is against the wall. Like, we need to
Mhm.
take him out here. I think that was like, because I was waiting for, like, I think Rizzo didn't really get too much content this episode,
No.
but it stuck out to me that, like, his like one thing was like, nah, like,
Yeah.
Bro already and I think it is like the correct move, at least between him and Emily to get Christian out. But I mean,
Yeah.
we'll talk
I
about it in a
think
second. I don't think there is a move I think would have been better for them, just like game wise. But we could talk about that in a little bit.
okay. I'm curious what you're gonna say there. But yeah, I think the issue is that while you have that group wanting to do Emily, I think you have Rizzo, Jonathan, Joe, Stephanie, who probably all want to stay on Christian. Obviously, you have Emily who's targeting Ozzy, Devins who's targeting Ozzy. So the two groups kind of realize that they're going to be splitting votes between Emily and Christian. So they kind of must have like a big group meeting about it, talk it over, and then finally concede that
Yeah.
Christian we can do now.
Hmm.
And then we get. Are we ready to go to tribal, or did you want to say whatever your other
Well, no, I'm
idea
just
was?
with the result at tribal. My whole thing is like, from like a logistical standpoint, they split the votes. I don't see how like why they don't put more votes on Devins if you think he actually has the idol. No, like why is Christian like if you're gonna split the votes between two people who you think like when one you think has the idol, like don't you usually put like more votes on the person who has the idol just in case they don't play it? Like they don't know it's fake, right? So that's just what I was kind of like confused why, because like they split between Christian and Devins. Like why don't they put more votes on Devins to like flush the idol? Because now coming into the next episode, unless Emily spills the beans about it being fake, like they still think he has an idol. I mean, I guess.
I mean, valid. I think. Hmm.
Because why not just pile all the votes on Christian then, right? Because there's no shot. I guess if Rick has an idol and like plays it on
I
Christian, then I
get.
guess.
Yeah, I think.
But
I think the logic is that if they're assuming that the Rick idol is real, then they because it's not a boomerang idol, they probably would assume that Rick could play it on anyone.
Mhm.
And the person they most want to go is Christian. So they're not trying to flush the idol. I think they more did it that way so that if Rick tried to save Christian, then Rick would go as a way
Yeah.
to incentivize Rick not to play the idol in the first place.
Yeah, and I feel like if this idol was real, I don't think there's any way Rick doesn't play it on himself tonight, and I think that probably was a thought for everybody. Like, either way they split the votes, I feel like you'd be like, okay, Rick would be like insane, like to not play the idol on himself tonight. So I guess that does make some sense.
He is kind of insane though.
Yeah, this is true.
By the way, I'm looking at the final vote count for that episode, and I love how at the very end of the list it says Christian votes for Christian.
I loved. Well, I guess one thing I loved his voting confessional. With the Jimmy Fallon thing. I thought that was very
Oh
funny.
my god. Yeah, wow. And that's the end of Christian.
Hey, the interview you
Damn.
told me to check out, his interview on Jimmy Fallon was very funny. I had a great time watching that. So at least we got that from this whole thing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't know. It sucks, you
Yeah.
know? I think it was smart for them to take out Christian. I will also say this, okay? I think if Christian successfully completes the puzzle, I think he's still voted out.
Yeah.
I don't think he got voted out because of the twist. I think he was kind of fucked no matter what. I think he was going home before he went on the journey anyway, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I,
to say.
I I agree with that. I'm still a little mad at the twist just because like I feel like he didn't have a shit like it got rid of any chance he would have had. Like I think he would have been gone regardless, but like he was not even given a chance to do anything. Like I would have rather, and I'm sure he would have rather like been able to go out fighting and at least like try to do something. But I mean, voting for yourself, you're just kind of cooked. Like I don't know, but no, I do agree that I think he was probably going home regardless.
Yeah. And with that, we can say goodbye to our David versus Goliath people.
Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon. I will say that out of everyone who we have seen get voted out on 50 so far, I think Christian's my number one pick for someone to come back again.
Yeah.
I really could see Christian coming back a third time. I could. And I wouldn't be upset by it, certainly.
No.
But like, I don't see there's a lot of people who have been voted out that I just don't see making a third comeback. I'm trying to think who else I could come back, or I shouldn't even say a third comeback, just any comeback for
hmm
whatever number it is. And I just don't see most of them coming back again.
Kyle, maybe. I can see Kyle making a comeback.
I don't. I don't think
No, you don't
so.
think so?
I don't think so. Maybe, maybe Angelina. Maybe. I don't think most of the people who were taken out.
I mean, I think Q will probably be back at some point. I think that's probably one that'll happen. I know
You
you're not a
like
big Q
you
guy,
I
but
could see. Actually, Genevieve I could see as well.
yeah.
So maybe Q, maybe Genevieve, but like I think that's it. I think Coach and Colby, this is their final showing. Chrissy, I don't think did enough to warrant a third showing, sadly. Same with Mike, same with Angelina. Um, yeah. Maybe Genevieve, maybe Q, but I think Christian's the big one.
Yeah.
And I will say this right now, I don't know how the hell he'll place. I want to see Survivor season 77, 47-year-old Riz God out there, all right? Just because that would be funny.
Yeah, I'd be here for it.
All right. But yeah, I think that basically does it. Worth mentioning, we were talking about this before we started recording. Christian had 18 confessionals this episode,
Yeah, insane.
which is not the most for a single person in a single episode this season. Because Ozzy in the premiere at 19. But it is among the top 5 cases in Survivor history of person with most confessionals within a single episode.
Yeah, you wanna say who the number one is because it's kind of a
Number
shocker.
1 blew my mind when you told me this. Is season 48 Say in the premiere had 21?
That's wild.
Not sure why, but okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christian is leaving the game with a grand total of 63 confessionals. Tiffany has 16. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth saying the second highest I think is Aussie at 53. And then the
Mhm.
third highest is in the 30s. Like
Yeah, Ozzy and Christian have been eating this season. I mean, they went to every single tribal. It does make a little sense, but
it looks like third highest is Rick actually at 36.
oh yeah.
And that's crazy because Rick had a 0 confessional episode.
Mhm.
But
I think that
yeah,
was the Zac Brown episode, so maybe we give him a pass
probably.
for that one.
Any last thoughts before we wrap things up here?
I have a very unrelated but also Survivor related thing that I saw
Oh,
today that I don't know if you saw. It is being reported that apparently, allegedly, Survivor 51 is rumored to start this season with 20 castaways in 2 tribes. So,
really?
which if this ends up being true, I would be ecstatic because I want something that's not the same thing again.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Just you know, I
I
because
remember
honestly,
I
I'm
remember
hyped.
when they first started doing the 3 tribes with 41. I was like, "You know what? I like this." But
Yeah.
I didn't think they were gonna do it every season.
I think it's good. I think a good balance would be good between the two. I just because three is fun. I think two has its place too. because I don't know, because 3 there just ends up being a disaster tribe a lot of times, and then like you don't
Mhm.
really get to see what like some of the tribes even go to tribal like for the whole pre-merge.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know. I kind of like doing 3 tribes, but I think the key is that you gotta make it unpredictable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you do 3 tribes every single time, then that kind of eliminates a little bit of the whimsy out of it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you make things unpredictable, it's like, oh shit, maybe it's 2 tribes, maybe it's 3 tribes. You know what I would kind of dig at this point, I'm gonna be honest?
What?
Fucking hell. To have 20 players, go back to 4 tribes.
Hey, shit.
We haven't done that since what? Like friggin' Fiji? Like,
Yeah.
why not? Start with 4 tribes. How about this? You ready? Crazy idea. I will pitch out there for Survivor.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Start with 4 tribes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
First immunity challenge. Only 1 tribe wins. 3 people immediately sent home.
Ooh.
That would be crazy though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I'd like it because you'd get to see like 3 of the 4 tribes immediately play the game. You know, like
Mhm.
lines are gonna get drawn in the sand like immediately.
Then you do one more round where 1 tribe goes to tribal, and then at 16 you're gonna swap things up.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, if Survivor, I think Survivor was afraid of doing more than 18 players because of the 26-day thing. But when they realized how they could do it with 24 players, they were like, well, if we made it work with 24, we can make it work with 20, surely.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It'll be interesting to see if they do. Because if season 51 just started filming, then the people on 51 would have seen things like the Blood.
Yeah.
And you have to imagine that something like that would be weighing on their conscience as something that potentially could happen. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I always find the seasons right after returning player seasons to be very interesting to look at
Yeah.
because it's always a question of how do you how do you follow up a usually incredible season.
Yeah. No, I
And I
mean,
mean,
I'm excited. Like,
yeah.
because I feel like I don't know. 51, I'm excited to see what they do because they could easily just go back to the same thing, which I'd be like from like the 40s. But like, I don't know, like seeing that they might be switching stuff up a little bit, it's got me a little, I'm intrigued. Like, I don't know, I'm I don't know. It's gonna be nice to see something new, even if it's just like a
Yeah.
little gameplay tweak of just having 2 tribes.
All right. Last thing I want to discuss is the reevaluating like winner potential for people, okay?
Yeah.
Because let's just start off with the people that I think have no shot at winning, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Based on where we're currently at, don't see a world where Stephanie wins.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't see a world where Joe wins.
Okay.
Don't see a world where Emily wins.
Yeah.
I think after that, the other 7 have varying degrees of win equity. I think the lower end of win equity is probably Tiffany and Jonathan. And then probably like middle of the pack there is like Rick and Aubrey. But I think it's got to be like the Aussie Suri Rizzo trio that have the most win equity, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that trio, like I see, yeah, highest win equity with them, and then Aubrey and Rick probably, but like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just don't see Rick in the end at this point, so I guess I put Aubrey like fourth to
I
them.
would agree with that. Yep.
I don't know. I feel like Jonathan. We've seen a lot of him. I could see. I don't know if he'll win, but I definitely. I feel like he might make it to the end. I think that's That's something I could see happening because he's been getting a lot of just like he's been very strategic. He's had a lot of moves and like they've been shown as like his moves. Like I don't know. I don't see him winning, but I could. I mean, it could happen maybe. Like I could see him. I don't know. I see him making a good run. Like I very much could see him making final three.
Yeah, I could. I could see him making final three, sure.
Yeah.
The thing that's scary about someone like Jonathan making it to the end is that almost certainly Coach, Chrissy, Joe, Stephanie vote Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of jury votes to automatically go to Jonathan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be what? It's an 11-person jury, I believe, because
I
D's the
think
first
so.
juror. So an 11-person jury, you only need 6 to win. That would be 4 right there. That's what's scary about that alliance is I think you have to enter a situation where you either have to take out all 3 of Stephanie, Joe, and Jonathan, or you have to take 2 of them with you and
Let's
split their
split up the
votes.
votes. Yeah, I can
So,
see
like,
that.
imagine a world imagine if Suri goes to the end somehow with Joe and Jonathan.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I did.
Suri wins.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Aubrey went to the end with Joe and Jonathan, I think Aubrey wins. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I think I'd be rooting for that at that point. I mean, shoot.
no, I could see me rooting for Jonathan to win. Not just because he's my draft pick, but like I don't know. But I would say that Jonathan definitely has like the 6th amount of win equity, I would say. I
Yeah,
think if I had to go in like number order, I think I'd go like 10 Stephanie, 9 Emily, 8 Joe, 7 Tiffany, 6 Jonathan, 5 Rick, 4 Aubrey, 3 Rizzo, 2 fuck, I don't know who has more between Ozzy and Suri.
yeah,
Honestly, probably I think I'd go 2 Ozzy, 1 Suri.
yeah. No, I
I
agree with
mean,
that. I think the
I could
only
easily
reason, yeah, I think the only reason I put Jonathan above Rick is because I just don't see Rick making it to the end with this, like especially after this vote. But I think if
that's
he
a
could make it to
fair.
the end, he'd have a shot. So I guess like just win equity wise,
Mhm.
I think I agree with that like whole assessment.
That's the thing, is like I'm talking win equity.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Suri's making it to the end? No, I don't.
The
Sadly.
rock draw, rock draw.
Oh my god. If that happens, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking be blowing up your phone, being like, oh god, what have I done? Ignoring the fact that whatever's done happened, months ago, but
Yeah.
I'll be like, what have
No,
I
you
done?
killed Suri. It was
I
you.
killed Suri. But yeah. Alright. Well, anyone who's stuck around to listen to this, thank you very much for listening to us ramble and rave and kind of hold a funeral for Christian.
Yeah. Rest
And,
in peace.
we're going to continue to cover season 50 as long as it keeps airing. So,
Mr.
until
Beast
next
next
week.
week. Mr.
What?
Beast next week. I said
Oh,
Mr. Beast next
jeez.
week. Tune in. It's gonna be great.
Oh boy, Mr. Beast. See everyone.
Later.